And we are live. Yes, and we are also Huang and
Heiko, and we're the Essence of Truth podcast.
which is all about the freedom and happiness that everybody wants but do not know how to get.
That's exactly right. And so today we talk about how to feel fully alive again. Because we're living in a time where there's so many responsibilities, so many things to do, and most people find themselves stressed out, burned out, and there's almost like no time to do something that makes you really fully alive. And so today we want to look at it from different perspectives, but also share stories and tools to really help you to basically get the most out of life. Because I mean, we have this one chance, this one gift to make the best out of this. And so, well, let's dive right into it. And I think, Huang, you had the amazing story to share that, making huge shifts to feel more alive don't even take much. Like literally, they can be free if we do the right thing. But I don't want to talk too much, so maybe go ahead.
Yeah, well, let's see. There was someone that I was working with, and we within just 10 minutes of meditation, I'm going to skip over the other detail, but within just 10 minutes of meditation, this guy was heart rate and blood pressure become like an athlete. Now that is the end result. So before that, how do I know that? We can have a conversation first, right? It come all the way from a connection I got from UPW in Germany. That is so fun. He has been using medicines for, I think, like for a very long time, and because he always has stress and anxiety and the tension inside of us. Sometimes when we have it for so long, it becomes so normal and natural for us that we forgot that it could be different as well. It could be, chill, just like comatized in bed, like, so nice. And I'm digesting over there. Before the session, I told him to, you know what, for this time, right? Don't use any medicine, right? I want you to measure your blood rate, measure your I'm sorry, your heart rate, and measure your blood pressure. And so he did, and it was crazy. It was crazy. I get a number. I was like, oh, okay, that's an interesting number. And I do a little bit of research after we are done with our session. And I look it up. Oh my God, this is the heart rate and the blood pressure of someone that is a kid, and then you have an adult, and then you have an athlete, which is what he have after just 10 minutes. I mean, we don't need to literally keep using medicines. We don't need to do crazy things, right? And it's literally just free. There was something that I giving for free as a complimentary because I like the guy, and I also want to share that with the world. So so many more of those things exist, right? And I know with you as well, there are powerful and beautiful things that you do, and beside us, there are many more out there. So it's really is within your grasp, guys. The only thing that you need to do is, well, take a look and do it.
Yeah, and I mean, you're a great example of like sometimes just talking with someone, making some connections can give you maybe the insights or the direction that you need. And I love that you shared that you told him like stop the thing but measure it. And I think
Mhm.
this is a key element that I find is so often missing, where people whatever they want to do, right? They want to lose weight, they want to do something else to be able to perform better, to live better, to feel better, but they don't measure. They do certain things, they go on a diet or workouts or something, and they go for a while. But I mean, this is the thing. If you don't measure, how do you know you're really making progress? Because I mean, your body, yes, of course, you get used to it, right? So maybe the workout's gonna feel easier, or maybe you're lifting a few more weights, but you have no real sense of how far have I come. And then when you have a day where the motivation is low, it's so easy to quit because you have no reference of like, hey, was all the effort actually worth it? And to me, measurement, I mean, it doesn't always just mean, data or numbers. One of the things, or the key element for me that helped me to overcome my autoimmune disease back in the days when no doctor could help me with that was, and that's kind of the good part or the lucky part that I had with that disease, was when I would eat something, within 15 minutes, my body would respond. So let's just say I would eat a burger, 15 minutes later, I would be in severe pain. If I had a salad, I would feel great. And so that made me realize, wait a minute, there's something about it. Like there's at least some measure of control that I have here. But I had no idea. Like, I mean, okay, burger, there's several ingredients in there. Salad, there's several ingredients in there. And so I started picking out single ingredients one by one, eating them and see what shifts for me. And I noticed, okay, some things make increase the pain or cause a flare up. Others make me feel better or nothing happens. And then along the way, I structured more, got the baseline of things that actually elevated my health. And so I included more of them. And then I noticed, hey, wait a minute, it's 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks passed, and I haven't had a flare up. I wasn't so much in pain. So it definitely go into the right direction here. And then with food, it was kind of easier to track. When it came down to emotions or something like that, that's a bit different. So this is when I then started just for myself using a scale basically to determine, like, okay, where do I feel energy-wise? What's the emotion I'm feeling? And things like that. But without the measurement, I would have never gotten to the place where eventually I overcame the disease. Because otherwise, I'm just going from my head. But depending on how I feel in the moment, my head thinks differently. And we all know that. Like in the morning, usually when we have the energy, we're optimistic, we're thinking great. And then at the evening, like let's just say 6 p.m. Heiko would be exhausted, would be tired, and would be more prone to eat a pizza or chocolate or ice cream. While 8 a.m. Heiko would be like, man, give me the salad, let's work out, let's make this a great day. And so measurement, I think, is a key element here. And also taking this further, not just from the measurement part, but also making those lifestyle changes. And one of the things that I find, I mean, there's so many gurus out there that tell you all kinds of things of like, this is the way, do this, and so on. And yes, obviously there are patterns in between, and they all can help, but they don't necessarily work for everybody. And so this is again where I find measurement comes in, where you have to find out what works for you. Because there's so many things to consider, your microbiome and everything. And one of the key elements that helped me to really refine it, well, eventually I got some tests done, some blood work done. And especially there's this thing called dark light microscopy, where you can actually see your blood moving. Like you don't get the numbers from the normal blood test, but they take the blood, they put it on this microscope, and then they show it on the screen, and you see your living blood right now. You see your blood cells moving. You see if there's inflammation there, if there are white blood cells there. And so I could see first off that some of my red blood cells, they were misshaped, which means they wouldn't flow very well. They wouldn't transport the nutrients or the oxygen that I need, which the cells need to generate energy, right? And so no wonder I had no energy. Then we realized I had an increased amount of white blood cells and of inflammation. And so I knew then what I needed to focus on: reducing inflammation, hydrating more, and making sure that my red blood cells becoming healthy. And then according to this, I could take action. But without the measurement, without actually taking the time and effort to really see where I'm at right now, how should I make any change? And then that was the change that really kicked things off. And so I'm not telling you have to do this thing or getting this kind of test, but what I'm recommending, if you really want to truly feel alive, if you want more energy, more focus, a clear head, just emotionally feel better, do something and measure it. Like Huang just said, right? Just meditation. It's free. There's so many you can go on YouTube, you can download apps. It doesn't even cost anything. You can make shifts in your diet. And if you don't want to, get a dietitian helping you with that, then do the same as I did. Measure yourself. Find a way to find out, what makes you feel bloated? What makes you feel heavy? What makes you feel lighter? What energizes you? and then you can go from there. Like it really is up to you how far you want to go with this. But to me, the number one thing to really feel alive is energy, and energy comes from being healthy. And so I'm so I'm glad now that I actually had this disease, because it gave me the opportunity to discover this. And I'm actually curious for you, Hoang. I mean, you obviously had your own story and so many things you went through, and also seeing it from maybe like an energy perspective.
Man, energy's perspective. I don't even know where to start right now in that way. And I really love what you're sharing over measurement, guys. What you can't improve, what you don't measure. I think that is one of the quotes that Tony say. I learned a lot from the guy, the big guy, amazing. So yeah, you don't improve what you can't measure. So keep measuring that, right? For us, it's the same as well. I'm not as much of an athlete as before, as I need to improve again. But when we're making jump, when we do certain things, right? The measurement for you, it was your feelings, right? Your body, right? Like the pain, you're using that. And for us at the gym, it's the amount of height that we jump, the power that we exude. And you literally see, even though we don't do it purposely, but when we're doing the move without hurting anyone else, right? Just and you see people just like whoa, and the power is there. We're using our body, and you reminds me of the energy is inside of us. So you reminds me of in Vietnam back in the day when I was living there. I literally grew up there, and how people do things is very very interesting. It's really the same as you do. My brother is amazing. They use their body to measure, right? Hey, you are cold, or you are this, or you that, then you gotta eat this, you gotta eat that. And they make there's a saying, a quote, let thy food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food. And that is exactly what we did in Vietnam, and you do the same, which is, I mean, like, it's amazing. And everybody, when we're making our food, our medicines, and our medicines be our food, right? What else could we achieve? It's become nowadays, right? Fast food, pizza, and so on and so on. And the reason why, in terms of energy and perspective, is that because what is it that we want, right? And what do we know? When we have someone that embody that type of energy, I'll say, for example, someone that's fit, it's The Rock, right? The best example I can think of right now. The Rock, he, right? And what did he do? And then we start to, when we think about it, we start to see, oh yeah, this is what he do, this is what he say, this is what he, and so on, the energy that he embody, and then we move toward that direction. It does not need to be exactly the same, but at least the direction is what matter, because in the direction that we're going toward is where the energy is flowing toward, right? Hey, if we think about a criminal, for example, it's opposite, right? Or someone is extremely lazy or fat, then it's gonna be very, very different as well. I was fat, so I know. And I grew up in the, and in I grew up in the hood, which is a place full of criminal. So I also do know, speaking from experiences. So yeah, it's so important to realize, like, where we are going, and in that way we kind of have a gist of direction, and with that direction we can figure out a way with medicines, with to allow it become our foods, allow our body to be the measurement, for example. And if you want more data, measure it precisely, just as you did, right? Under the microscope. Man, what you share, it really reminds me of the time when I was at the laboratory. It's so much fun when we're seeing those things. It's so exciting, to see what happening inside of us, so we become more aware that there's life inside of us, not just, I don't know, things, not just something. So with that realization, we feel more connected to ourselves, right? We feel perhaps more love, like, hey, I deserve more, I could do more, and so I do something else. um Man, I I get in the in the ram there, but yeah, that's the energetic perspective.
Yeah, and thank you so much for sharing that, and also for bringing up Vietnam, because when I think about 2 years, 2.5 years ago, I was in Canada. So like, you could really see like the standard Western diet, so to speak. And then coming here to Vietnam, I mean, just from a health, energy, vibrancy perspective, there's such huge difference. Where like, I mean, you could literally say like just from the eye, every second person you see in Canada kind of was, at least a little bit overweight, a little bit going into the direction. While here, actually, I've never seen an overweight Vietnamese person. And then in general, I mean, the level of kindness, the socializing here, and their whole lifestyle. Like I see them in the morning, they're doing exercises or they're dancing in the park or at the beach. Same, and at night when the sun is down, they playing together, volleyball or whatever kind of things. And they are always active, all kind of age groups, and obviously the food is very healthy as well. And you just notice just from being there and observing a little bit, there is a difference. And I find, and I have been down this path, and I want to use the quote that you said a couple of weeks ago, where like we are moving away from life. Because now what happened to my camera? Because this is literally what happened to me when back then, when I had my autoimmune disease, when I had all my allergies, I ate lots of pizza, ice cream, chocolate, like the stuff that it's just available that tastes good. But I mean, I was sick as F, right? But shifting that gave me so much energy, so much joy. And I mean, at the beginning, I had this mindset of like, oh, I need to give up on pizza or whatever kind of things. But it was almost like this painful association of like, oh, I need to give up something. But what I gained was so much more than I could imagine. I mean, first of getting over my disease, but also being able then to go out, go on hikes, or all the crazy shit that we did while traveling that wouldn't have been possible for my old self, the Heiko that had the Western diet, the processed food, and all these kind of things. And so at the end, I didn't give up anything. I gained so much, and I shifted to moving towards life and not away from it. And the result of it was, it allowed me to make so many experiences, which to me is coming to the essence of truth. To me, life is experiences. Feeling alive to me means I make experiences that create memories that I can share with others, that shape me as a person. And so this to me is the biggest gift, and I'm glad that I went down this path.
Man, that's that's powerful and that's so beautiful. Thank you for reminding me of that quote, and also thank you for sharing that with us, right? About move away from life, and also with the last part, um, which is, oh my God, sometimes you have it in your mind, and then you just like go and run away, hide it into the corner, just like a little mouse. um, yeah, I totally forgot the last part which I want to say. But
That's
um,
life.
that's life. Yeah. Yeah. What did you say again? Can you repeat it? The last part.
Moving away from life, moving towards life.
And that was my thing. But I mean that at the end you also say something about very very amazing.
About experiences. Like life,
Yeah,
the essence of truth for me is experiences.
yeah, experiences. Thank you so much. And guys, this is what real is. See, I forgot things as being a human too. That reminds me of the things that I often say, and I truly believe that we are the collection of experience from the moment we were born until now. And that really is all that we have, right? It's nothing else. And the experience that we really have by with the choices that we make. Well, make one choice, we're gonna get one experience. Make a different choice, we're gonna get a different type of experience. So imagine every day when we were to do, to make the same choice over and over again. That is how we're being trapped in a loop. And luckily for us, we had kind of funny to say this right now. We had enough pain to have to choose a different choice, different choices and different experiences, right? We both got sick to the point that we like, yeah, no more. and we did. We travel a different path, and with that, there's so much of a bigger world out there waiting for us, and bigger connections, and bigger type of experience and variety as well for both of us. So I'm curious, oh yeah, and it's all because we have to find a way to connect with our own truth, with our own essence of truth again, with our soul, our light, our purpose, our mission of who we are. So I'm curious, in your life, we all have experienced pain at a certain point. Hey, how even kids have pain. If nothing else, they fall on their face and they hurt and they cry. I do that too. It's like bloody nose. Yes, I know how that feels like, stomach into the wall. So yeah, what type of experience in your life that you have, right? That really allow you, to go into the journey that that allow you to discover who you are, a portion of it or the part of it, so that you can feel alive again. And yeah, what are those experiences, and and what is it that you got so far from, with us or with someone else, that really helped you feel alive again? If it's not, a day, a week, maybe just a few moments, right? I'm curious because when you do that, right, you're building upon the achievement that you have. And here's the thing: a person, when a person, they need a reason to live and to be alive. Without a reason, there was a quote, I may butchering it now, but from someone very famous, which I forgot his name too. Not much of a name. But without a vision, people perish. That is one of the quote, and it's true. Someone that's physically strong, right? Someone that's strong and powerful, when they lost the reason, they lost the vision to be alive, they lost that drive. How do you experience them? No matter how strong they are in those moments physically, do you still feel that power in them, or you just feel that empty husk inside? And I also been there too, empty shell and empty husk, losing or lost the reason to be alive. So an opposite is also true. When you have a reason to live, to be alive, building upon the things that you achieve, that get you going, getting you waking up at each and every day, um, how much more will you be? How will people experience you, right? Is it a husk, a shell, or are they experiencing the stars, which is you, starting from within your heart, your very essence?
Man, I love that. That's man, you went so deep there, and thank you so much for sharing that, because I think you highlighted the most important part. You like having a vision, like something to move towards to. And something that I just would like to add to that is there was a time, like, coming from teenager to adulthood, where I didn't really know who I was, what really my passion is, and I didn't really know where to start. I had no real vision, so to speak. Also, partially because I didn't believe in myself by at the time. But what I simply did is I just tried things out, like all kinds of things, different kinds of hobbies. I started, drawing, trying to learn an instrument or whatever kind of thing, because I didn't know. And some things I totally sucked at and I stopped immediately. Some things I said, hey, actually, this is better than I thought, right? And so I sticked with Wing Chun, started traveling, completely fell in love with that. And so I simply discovered my passions, feeling alive by simply trying things out. And I think what I want to share with that is that, if you don't really know yet, you're not really sure what your vision is, what your passions, what you want to do, be playful, try things out, say yes to things. When, a friend comes to you and asks, yeah, you want to do this or whatever, or if there's a show coming to town, go to the show. Maybe you like it. Like we went to musicals. I had never been to a musical. I was blown away. We went to normal pop kind of concerts. Great. We went to metal concerts, great. We even went to like symphonies and stuff like that. Even that was great. I didn't really expect that, but there's just so much. And oftentimes you don't know until you have the experience. Coming back to that part, right? Experiences is the, to me, it's the key to life.
Yeah, it is very, very true. And I love that you share that experience is really is the key to life. And, be playful, right? Discover, stay with an open heart. Hey, you may not notice that this is me being vulnerable, but I remember there was a time, in my life that I really believed that, I couldn't imagine how could a girl really like me, and I look at the mirror back then. I was like, how can a girl like that, right? And now I, of course, discovered I'm like, oh yeah, man. Now it's very different, right? And even though I get compliments, right? You handsome, you look good, and a lot of things, I still rejecting those things, right? But it's all changes when I'm opening to it, and as you are sharing, right? Be playful with it and experiences, and I start to gain little experience upon little. I'm opening the door to my heart, like I will recommend all of us do, right? And build it slowly and build it steadily. If you cannot do it a lot at once, just take a look at how far you could go, because it's about you, it's about your experiences, and it's about your journey, no one else's. You only have such a limited amount of time on this earth, and it's for you to make choices and to experience. No one else ever has and ever will experience the experience that you experience.
Great way to
So
put it.
yeah, right. So go for it, leave it all, and you got this. You really do.
Yes, exactly. And so I'm just thinking as you were sharing this, like, what is the thing that I want to take away today? And I think you just hit it home where, like, it's choices, right? I mean, when you think about it, everything started to change with different choices, different food choices, the choice to find a way to overcome this disease, the choice to try new things, anything. And this, it sounds so simple, but it's so powerful. Like one different choice I can make today can change my life. Like thinking about the one choice, right? A friend came to me like, hey, you want to try Wing Chun? I didn't know what it was, but I said yes, and boom, immediately fell in love with that. One choice to start traveling, and boom, found the passion of mine. And so this is, I think, the takeaway that I want to take from this today. Where, like, choices, make a different choice. And maybe even as I'm articulating this, what comes to my mind is like, you know what, I would love to just, for at least for 7 days, to start my day with asking myself the question, what is one choice, like one different choice that I could make today that would, benefit my life or something like that. And I think I'm gonna take this challenge.
Oh, the 7 day challenge, guys, go for it. And remember to make it fun, right? As Coach Heiko say over there, really make it fun. Um, and yeah, choices. Yeah. Oh, thank you, brother. Um, for me, as for me, what I'm going to take away is our experiences, man. And, you allow your experience to bring you closer to health, wealth, abundance, to you allow yourself and your experience to bring you to the closer ultimate version of you. And I would really really do that. I would take that away, because in the end, how could you allow your own experiences, really the choices and experience you gain, to bring you closer to whoever or whatever you want to be, right? And make it fun, make it playful, because guys, around the world there's a lot of things and a lot of people, and in the end all of them are nothing more than the experiences that are waiting for you to explore, and kind of like a little present that you like opening up at Christmas. Like, oh my God, this experience! Oh my God, that. And yeah, find a partner, find someone, that will accompany you, which will make it even more fun. So, yeah, yeah, experiences. Thank
I
you for
love
that.
that. I love
Mm,
that. And yeah, bringing the fun. I mean, this is the best way to feel alive is having
mhm,
fun. And so this is, I think, a great addition to all of this. And
mm.
so I'm curious, guys, what is it for you? Like, what are your thoughts, your insights that you had today? What are your stories? Did you have moments where you made a shift, you made a different choice, or you discovered a different path for you? And how did things change? Like, I'm really curious to hear your stories. And also, if you have any questions, feel free to ask us because we're more than happy to answer. And we want to co create the space together with you. With that being said, though, that's it for today. Wishing you the most amazing rest of the week and remember who you are.
And remember the power of creation you possess, guys. All right, take care.
Take
Get
care.
that 7 day challenge and have fun. Bye, guys.